Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a brand new episode of Elets Innovation Talk. I'm Kaanchi Chawla, Senior Sub Editor at Elets Technomedia, which is India's leading and largest B2B multimedia platform, proudly celebrating 22 years of excellence. For over 2 decades, Elets Technomedia has been at the helm of innovation, driving transformative summits and thought leaderships across governance, healthcare, education, and banking and finance sectors. Elite's Innovation Talk is our series which we engage with trailblazers shaping the future of their industries. And today, we are honored to host a thought leader whose work in data science and AI is paving the way for revolutionary advancements across media, mobility, and healthcare. Joining us today is Biswajit Biswas, Chief Data Scientist at Tata Elxsi. So, welcome to the Innovation Talk, sir.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. And it is nice to be in this show and sharing my thoughts as I've been pioneering some of this AI and machine learning journey, and I started this team in Tata Elxsi. So I hope it'll be a good time to talk about some of my experiences.
Surely. So, talking about Biswajit Biswas, he has been with Tata Elxsi for more than 2 decades, bringing in his expertise in next generation AI powered cloud ready solutions for media, mobility, and healthcare. He is the go to person for advanced machine learning with digital signals. He excels in AI and deep learning computing and has worked on solutions for computer vision, language, text, and voice processing. With strong domain experience in wireless communication and cloud ready mobile first applications, he is driving the next generation of AI driven solutions across critical sectors. He also holds a patent for innovation in V2X related technology and has filed patents for several other innovations in the area of predictive machine learning. Talking about Tata Elxsi is a global leader in design and technology services, driving innovation at the intersection of engineering, digital, and user experiences. As a part of the Tata Group, Tata Elxsi delivers cutting-edge solutions across industries, including automotive, broadcast communications, healthcare, and consumer electronics. Its focus on AI, cloud, and digital technologies is enabling the next wave of intelligent systems powered by leaders like Biswajit Biswas. So it's an honor to have you with us today. And I'll surely hope that this conversation will be so much enriching for all our viewers. So without further ado, I'll start with the conversation. And to begin with my first question to you, that would be like generative AI. Like it is revolutionizing various sectors. So how is your organization, leveraging the Gen AI to enhance operational efficiency and innovation in Industry 4.0 applications?
Sure. I think the Gen AI has been the talk of the town for at least quite a few, at least a couple of years for now. And this has become one of the major transformative agent in many of our, AI specific solutions and solutionizing. And as I was telling you, we have been working on AI solutions for almost a decade now, and many of our legacy applications have been AI enabled. And today, we can't think of any other solutions which doesn't have an AI built into it, and that's how we have been adopting the AI. Now, the Gen AI gives more additional features, powers, etc., and the generative part of it. Then when you say generative, so what it generates, so it basically helps to generate content, generate actions, take AI into the beyond the inferencing to the actions, and specifically for the industrial AI cases. And this we see a much more value adding, and even the ROI space, it has become much improved or better solutions compared to the other bespoke AI solutions. So when you say bespoke AI solutions, so these are when you make AI models with the very private data and small data sets and trying to build a very specific unique niche solutions. But when you are using Gen AI, you are actually connecting the entire ecosystems. You are able to give an end-to-end solutions from customer support, understanding customers' intent, analyzing customers' problem domain, the generating or creating a solutions, and then delivering it and connecting with the physical world, thereby completing the entire cycle of operations. Whereas earlier, before GenAI, it was giving only point solutions or a very sliced area of operations. But the GenAI in this case is able to solve end-to-end business case problems, and that has reduced quite a lot of human in loop or human touch points. So typically, when you actually work with AI solutions, there's an expectation like everything should happen as autonomously as possible, and that is what GenAI has enabled. And we have been, transforming all our solutions using the GenAI element, GenAI enabled. For example, adding the voice interface, adding the chat interface, creating a complete workflow, and understanding customer intents and converting it into a workflow, adding to the external tools. LLM has become a very part of that. So not just the LLM, which is the world knowledge, we also have the concept of the small language model, which is very much refined solutions from LLM, which is very, very domain specific models. So those are SLM. So we are able to integrate all of that in our solutions, and the many of our offerings today has built with GenAI powered. Yeah. Yeah, I think this has been a quite important point of discussion in the industry, and how the cloud has to be used in the overall context of solutionizing, especially for enterprise solutions. So, and there are many of the cloud solutions. There are hyperscalers, there are private clouds, and all of that. So, super cloud is basically a integration of all these multiverse. You have your own data center or private data center. You have your on-prem compute systems. You have hyperscalers like Amazon clouds. You have Google Cloud. You have Microsoft Azure Cloud. So each of these cloud platform has their own strengths and advantages, and each of them has evolved with a certain strength and certain solution space they kind of dominate. So the very fact that we are working in a service space across different industries, we have very, very closely with these ecosystem of cloud players plus our customers who have evolved their solutions building on many legacy platforms. So we have to work in this space and bring this concept of super cloud, where the data, the control, and the other interface points all resides in different cloud parameters. So we have to kind of aggregate all of that in a single space, a virtual space. The space need not be a physical space, a virtual space, maintaining all the data integrity, data governance, data security, and the data policies, which are depending on the geographical limitations and their and we have these compliance requirements at each geography. So we have to do all of that and then bring the data in a single plane and derive the values and insights and business inferences. So that is how we work, and so that's why you call it a super cloud. The super cloud is basically we create a virtual multiverse kind of a systems where we take care of all these aspects of data governance and data security and data inferencing issues. And as we see today, and many of these cloud partners we are working with could be with Snowflakes or Databricks, and all of them has become a AI ready data platform. So every cloud platform providers today is actually AI ready. So which means like you are building AI agents, you are building the LLM models or using LLM models out of it. And when you use all of this together, your platform has to kind of give that kind of interfaces. It should work with all the connecting interfaces. For example, it should work with the Teams, it should work with Slacks. So there are various levels of interfaces available for connecting these data to the consumer space, to the end user level. So this is where we are working with. We have built our own super cloud architecture, which takes care of various types of these business requirements. So you have when it's a business requirements, it is like batch processing or a streaming processing, and some places, especially for some of our automotive sector, where the data is generated at very very fast rate, like milliseconds. Every millisecond, there are thousands of records gets generated. Or if it is a device, it's a network device, they generate data at a millisecond apart, and the time synchronization between devices across the plane is very very important. So all of that need to be processed with certain business criticality in mind. So these super cloud concept is basically making sure that all of this data, all of these rules and the legacy systems, along with the AI's the AI part of it, is actually delivered, combining all of this together and deliver the business values and the services in the best possible way, keeping in ROI. Because one of the key concern customers has, yes, all these are good, all these are fine, but what about the price, and what about the running cost or OPEX? And this is where some of these choices becomes very important. What tools you have chosen, what policy of retentions you are choosing, and how you are kind of integrating all of this, making sure that your performance is not compromised, but at the ROI is maintained at a long term level. So this is where probably I would say that comes very handy, the concept of super cloud.
Yeah. So we have talked about cloud, we have talked about AI, but yes, there is a presence of all these things, but I believe the human touch that is necessary in all of these things. And when it comes to the human touch, it comes to the team which is working. So growing a team from 6 engineers to over 100 of significant achievements. So what key principles like do you follow to cultivate innovation and maintain agility in such expanding teams?
Yeah, I think one of the key thing is very important especially in this space of the AI, keeping a team highly motivated and scanning the overall the market, how these innovations are happening across. So, like how Google is driving the AI innovation, or how OpenAI is driving the AI innovations, and what are the top thought leaders talking about. And we scan these the technology horizon. We make sure that what are the learnings from that. We carve out a set of work which we kind of do and maintain a research focused team daily delivering some of these key outputs. So for example, every quarter we have certain innovation ideas which are submitted by the team. We curate that, make a much shorter list, and then take that for business implementation, keeping in line with customers requirements. So both in the research space or in the innovation space, what is happening at the same time, looking at market or customer interaction, because many of us are directly involved in discussions with customers, going to the conferences, attending all the other talk shows. So we also know what customers are talking, so we kind of combine these two and see what are the top three we should do in this quarter and deliver, and which has a business value. And this is what we do very very religiously. We have a lot of practices like running a hackathons, and then even in Tata Group we have a very, very strong focus on innovation. We have a platform through which we people submit the ideas. It gets validated. It rises through the hierarchy of selections, and then even at group level, group company level, we kind of Tata Group companies together come across yearly and ideate and validate these innovations, and these are all finally curated for the final presentations to towards the top senior management level. So there is a very well structured innovation policies available, where engineers are kept motivated, engineers are awarded when they achieve something very significant. So all of that helps to kind of maintain this the research focus, at the same time keeping the business focus sharp. And another thing I want to mention is some of our association with the the academics. We work very closely with IITs and other institutions of eminence. And with that, I think some of the cutting edge difficult problems which needs academic intervention also gets integrated to that. So all these helps to kind of keep this innovation cycle running and make sure that these helps the business solve the toughest of the problems to be solved in the most most innovative way.
Okay. Very beautifully answered about like, and I believe like keeping them highly motivated, and especially coming up like that you said that you organize like the ideas that teams give and keeping in mind the customer expectations. That is, think that is much needed today, and the team doing this, that is highly appreciated. So very nicely and beautifully answered. So moving on, like as AI systems, like it becomes more integrated into daily life, so how does Tata Elxsi ensure ethical considerations are embedded in the development and deployment of AI solutions?
Yeah, I think one of the very pertinent questions, like how to maintain ethical AI or explainable AI. So this is one very important topic, and we have made a certain set of practices, development practices, policies. This is inbuilt the way the data is curated, data is processed, and what level there are that the data is to be used for the machine learning model building. And also we very closely follow some of these policies which are mandated by some of the there is a AI policy which is recently I attended a seminar there was like there are 5 levels of risk of AI, so which talks about like the benign set of things versus the highest risk, where the AI's a wrong interpretation can actually impact some, it can be life threatening or life critical kind of issues. So all of that, especially if you are working with the medical data, if you are working with industry data, where you have to take the AI is taking a decision of shutting down certain process or increasing some productivities or some of these things. So this has to be very well curated, and we have a certain principles to we train the engineers how to annotate the data, how to tag the data properly, and there are multiple levels of inspection happens. So there is a data quality inspection tool which you have built. We also call AI Glass. So AI Glass is our enterprise platform, which is actually designed for these kind of data explainability issues. So whenever an AI model is inferencing, on what parameters it has decided to give that inference, and which is the most significant parameter, which is the least significant parameter, what are the scores it has used, and all of that. So all of this is, there is a good observability we have built around these models, so that kind of helps to kind of trace back if there is any anomaly in the predictions, or anomaly which has to be kind of validated before it goes to the production system. So you have built that, and also you have kept certain checks in human loops and etc. Especially in the medical segments, there are certain work we do in terms of understanding the X-ray image or a MRI image. When an inference is being made, there is a sufficient human in loop intervention happens. So there are certain processes we follow, so that some of these risk and other things can be mitigated even before it gets into the next level of systems. So there is a set of practices built around to kind of mitigate those.
So like implementing MLOPs, like that is also crucial for managing AI models at a scale. So what strategies has your organization adopted to streamline the life cycle of AI models from development to deployment and monitoring?
Yeah, so this is a pretty tool driven approach. So building a bunch of enterprise tools, working with some of our partners who has build some of these tools, integrate it into the systems, and creating our own data platform and work with other hyperscaler platforms, and also the observability platform. So observability is very important. Like, it is not just the business inferences, but how the data has been used, how the data has been processed, is there any data loss which has happened. So all of that. So it's a very, process, tool, and a human, the human in loop in inbound. So these three combiningly actually is addressing this whole thing about the data and the AI. So the AI glass platform I mentioned earlier. So AI glass platform built around has been built around all those concepts, and we are able to manage and process all the data which we have, uh, mm, which we receive from our customers, which we receive from our systems and processes, and even in for some of our organizational use. So we pass it through that to make sure that we have all the right information is available for making right decisions, and make sure that if there are any anomalies, if there are any other concerns, so that gets flagged at right place and right moment, and it gets addressed.
Okay. Okay. So, moving on, so like quantum computing, it also holds immense potential. So, could you share like any
Okay.
insight into how Tata Elxsi is exploring quantum machine learning and its prospective impact on industries like healthcare and automotive?
Yes, the quantum computing, I think, is now coming out from the research arena to the more the use case driven, where industry is able to see some early benefits of the same. And in Tata Elxsi, we have been already. I mean, we have been following this technology, and we also have been investing on some of these, skill building and team who is capable of, solving problems using quantum machines with available the quantum bits or qubits available. And some of the things we see, we have actually 3 or 4 key areas where we see it is much more value adding. One, of course, is on the quantum machine learning area. So there are very very difficult use cases where a normal machine learning model may not work in the classical computing domain, because the data available is very very rare, especially the failure data is very very less. And in those cases, we are able to build a QML or quantum machine learning model which can solve a surface defect or a very fine crack, which is otherwise difficult. And this is applied to area where the cost of that kind of defect is going to be huge if it goes undetected. And that is where the business problem gets more. It gets addressed because you are able to address it at a price point which is affordable. So that is one. And second is the quantum optimization. So now there are many combinatorial problems which traditionally been addressed or have been addressed using the standard methods of computation. But because of the available hardwares or available computing models, it is not really that much effective. So what we have done, we have built a bunch of quantum optimization processes and models. For example, what is the ideal combination of goods and materials which can be loaded on a certain condition. So there is a maximum the freight weightage or the volume available or the distance to be traveled, etc. So when you have some 20-30 such parameters to be optimized simultaneously, this is where the quantum optimization comes very handy. So that is the one. And third area we are working on is a quantum cryptography. And quantum cryptography is an area which we see is very very important in terms of how the current cryptographic systems are going to be broken using the quantum algorithms. So we are working on some of these PQC validation techniques like post quantum cryptography, so that the cryptography algorithms of choice are quantum hardened and it is quantum ready. It cannot be broken easily by even by employing the quantum methods. So some of these areas we have started early implementations. We are talking and we are implementing all those solutions and seeing early benefits, and we see some of our customers are very, very happy to see some of the results which are coming out very encouraging. And we are in the early stage, but yes, there is a lot to a lot of potential going ahead.
Great. And since you are an early stage and you are working on that, wish you all the very best for that and for achieving that the success. So thank you so much for sharing your invaluable insights with us today. So like as we conclude, could you share a powerful message for the organizations or technologists and aspiring data scientists who aim to build impactful AI solutions and navigate the fast evolving landscape of intelligent systems and digital transformation?
Yes, I think there is a lot of concerns in some to some people whether AI is going to take the job, or is it going to be the like kind of an holocaust kind of a scenario, like we are saying every other day 100% job. Some people say 50% jobs will be replaced, but I think that's I see it is very positive way. AI is going to augment our skill, and I myself see like I'm able to deliver much better with the use of AI and AI tools in a much shorter time. So otherwise I would have taken X number of days. I'm doing it X by 3 days. So it has augmented my capability. I'm able to do much more things than what I used to do earlier. And this is the way it has to be treated. Like AI has to be owned as an exoskeleton. I mean, you just make sure that you have the right skills, keep learning, and for organizations also, AI has to be used for integrating the organization knowledge, because what happens is like any organizations face a lot of people, attritions or movements and things. But the more we are into the digital and the work is done by digital and human loop kind of a system, you have that ability to kind of retain that knowledge much better compared to what it was earlier. Earlier it was a very people centric, but today you are very digital. So in fact you have a much better capability to harness that knowledge and keep it within the organization. So the organization knowledge harnessing is one of the key attempt organizations should do, and AI and Gen AI and the agentic AI has come in the kind of right way to kind of harness that and make sure our organizations can use that knowledge and information in a much more an effective way, so that uh, uh, it can tide through some of these business challenges or so today we have many geopolitical issues and scenarios happening, and business is getting affected because of many actions which are taken, which when and we are not in control. So some of that can be navigated, some of that can be kind of addressed if the organizational knowledge or organizational AI can be built, which helps to kind of run many things autonomously and systematically, and the knowledge part of is curated and delivered in a way which helps companies to be much more stronger and stable.
Truly said. And yes, fearing about AI, that is not the solution, but using AI wisely, that is, I think, which is needed. And of course, the human touch, as I said earlier, it is needed in that. So thank you so much for that enriching conversation. It was lovely hearing you. So thank you so much for sharing your insights once again. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of another thought-provoking series of Elets Innovation Talk. A big thank you to Mr. Biswajit Biswas for his time and exceptional insights. Your pioneering work in data science, AI innovation, and cloud-ready technologies has been both enlightening and inspiring. So to our viewers, thank you for joining us today for such deep conversations with industry leaders. Stay connected with Elets Innovation Talk. Until next time, stay innovative, stay inspired. See you soon. Thank you.